AI just took a massive leap forward after OpenAI introduced a series of new models and developer products at its new conference called DevDay. It was held on November 6th in San Francisco, and the announcements included a much-anticipated update to GPT-4, customizable versions of ChatGPT, the new Assistants API for developers, and much more. As an AI enthusiast, I was thrilled to see all of these announcements, and we'll be diving into all of them in this video. My name is Blaž, you're watching AI Innovations, and before we get into all of these major announcements, make sure to hit the like and subscribe to help out the channel and get more quality content like this. Kicking off the event, OpenAI CEO and co-founder Sam Altman announced their latest breakthrough, a new version of their flagship product called GPT-4 Turbo. The new model is claimed to be both more powerful and cheaper than its predecessor, and comes in two versions for the API. A default version of GPT-4 Turbo with all the new capabilities, and a second version with the ability to understand images in addition to all the other capabilities. Starting November 6th, both versions enter a preview phase accessible via the API, with OpenAI planning to roll them out for general availability in the upcoming weeks. The pricing of the new models is significantly cheaper than their predecessor. It is now 3 times cheaper for input tokens and 2 times cheaper for output tokens, where the average user can expect a price reduction of around 2.75x. Along with GPT-4 Turbo and GPT-4 with Vision, DALL-E 3 and the new version of their text-to-speech model called Whisper v3 are also being made available through the API. According to OpenAI, GPT-4 Turbo has several improvements over GPT-4, such as a more recent knowledge cutoff, a larger context window, and the new JSON mode. The new model was trained on web data up to April 2023, while the old version of GPT-4 and GPT 3.5 were trained on data up to September 2021. This means that GPT-4 Turbo can answer questions about more recent events and topics. The new model also has a 128,000 token context window, the size of a standard 300-page book, which is 4 times the size of GPT-4's and the largest of any commercially available model. This means that GPT-4 Turbo can remember and generate longer, more coherent text, and is said to be more accurate over a longer context. The new JSON mode allows the model to respond with valid JSON, the open standard file format and data interchange format, which is useful for web applications that transmit data. The expanded context length and reduced pricing are a significant step forward in AI use cases, as the increased context length allows for more comprehensive interactions, enabling the AI to remember and reference a broader range of information from earlier in the conversation. This is especially crucial for complex tasks that require extended dialogue, such as technical support, detailed storytelling, or in-depth educational tutorials. Meanwhile, the lower pricing structure opens up AI integration, making it more affordable and accessible for a wider range of users and developers. This will encourage broader experimentation, but also open the door for small businesses and individual creators to integrate it into their systems, which means we should start seeing more web applications and services using the API. The web application ChatGPT will now use GPT-4 Turbo for Plus users and is being improved with a new interface and by the removal of the model picker. Browsing, image generation, and advanced data analysis are now built directly into the default GPT-4 experience, and the model will know when to use each of these tools. OpenAI says that GPT-4 Turbo performs better than GPT-4 on tasks that require the careful following of instructions, such as responding in specific formats or returning consistent completions. The new model is also more likely to return the right function parameters and allows for multiple function calling. They've also announced that they're launching an experimental access program for fine-tuning GPT-4, which allows customers to customize the model for their specific needs. However, the company warns that fine-tuning GPT-4 requires more work and oversight than fine-tuning GPT 3.5, the previous version of the model. They're also launching custom models for companies that require fine-tuning with large amounts of proprietary data and knowledge. This will not be as easily available, since it will require the company to work with a dedicated OpenAI research team. In addition, OpenAI said that it is doubling the tokens per minute rate limit for all paying GPT-4 customers, but keeping the pricing the same. This means that customers can use more of the model's capacity without paying more. To clarify, this refers to the rate limit on the API and not the message limit for the ChatGPT web applications. OpenAI has also announced a new feature that allows anyone to create their own version of the AI assistant for a specific purpose. These custom versions are called GPTs, and they can combine instructions, extra knowledge, and any combination of skills such as searching the web, generating images or code, and analyzing data. GPTs can be created with no coding experience just by chatting with ChatGPT and describing what one wants. For example, one can make a GPT that helps with learning the rules of any board game, teaching math to kids, or designing stickers. GPTs can also be tailored for professional use cases, such as debugging code, writing emails, or generating reports. OpenAI also plans to launch the GPT Store later this month, a marketplace where users can publish and monetize their GPT creations. The store will feature GPTs by verified builders, and users will be able to search, rate, and use them. OpenAI will also spotlight the most useful GPTs in various categories, such as productivity, education, and entertainment. In the coming months, users will also be able to earn money based on how many people are using their GPTs. OpenAI says it built GPTs with privacy and safety in mind, and users are in control of their data. Chats with GPTs are not shared with builders, and users can choose whether data can be sent to third-party APIs. Builders can also choose if user chats with their GPTs can be used to improve and train the models. OpenAI hopes that GPTs will empower individuals and companies to innovate with AI and share their expertise with others. The company believes that the most incredible GPTs will come from the community, and it invites anyone to try out the feature at chat.openai.com/create. The next feature that was announced was a new API that will allow developers to create assistants within their apps, called Assistants API. It is designed to enable agent-like experiences that can perform tasks using a range of coding and analysis tools. According to OpenAI, the Assistants API is powered by Code Interpreter, a tool that writes and runs Python code in a sandboxed environment. Code Interpreter, which was launched in March for OpenAI Codex users and later for ChatGPT Plus users, can generate graphs and charts, process files, and solve code and math problems. The Assistants API can also access a retrieval component that augments the assistants with external knowledge, such as product information or company documents. Additionally, the API supports function calling, which allows the assistants to invoke programming functions defined by the developers and incorporate the responses in their messages. Some of the use cases that OpenAI envisions for the Assistants API include a natural language-based data analysis app, a coding assistant that can write and run code snippets, and an AI-powered vacation planner that can suggest destinations and activities based on the user's preferences. These assistants will be capable of helping users with tasks like scheduling, booking, and answering questions, which will enhance user interaction with applications. The API is in beta and available to all developers starting November 6th. The tokens used for the API will be billed at the chosen model's per-token rates. OpenAI says that it plans to allow customers to provide their own tools to complement the ones offered by the Assistants API in the future. Lastly, OpenAI has announced a new program that will protect its customers from intellectual property claims related to the work generated by its tools. The program, called Copyright Shield, will cover the customers who use the generally available features of OpenAI's developer platform and ChatGPT Enterprise, the business tier of the chatbot. OpenAI says that it will pay the legal costs incurred by these customers if they face lawsuits over IP claims against the content created by an OpenAI tool. OpenAI trains their models on millions of examples from the web, some of which may be protected by copyright or other IP rights. The risk of regurgitation, or when a generative model reproduces a training example without modification, is one of the main concerns for the user of generative AI. According to a study by Acrolinx, nearly a third of Fortune 500 companies said that IP was their biggest worry about the use of generative AI. OpenAI claims that it has built-in safeguards in its system to prevent regurgitation and ensure originality. However, it also acknowledges that IP claims may still arise and that it wants to support its customers in such cases. OpenAI is not the first company to offer IP indemnity to its customers, however. IBM, Microsoft, Amazon, Getty Images, Shutterstock, and Adobe have also announced that they will protect generative AI customers over IP rights claims. So that brings us to the end of the DevDay Roundup. There was a lot of major announcements to process, and even the ones that seemed unimportant to most have vast implications for others. And to end his presentation, Sam Altman said that the next year's announcements will make this year's seem quaint. This more than likely hints at the release of GPT-5. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on the DevDay. Did the announcements exceed your expectations? Can you see yourself using these new tools and features? Let me know in the comments below. Also make sure to like, subscribe, and check out any other videos you might have missed. My name is Blaž, and this was AI Innovations.